Hello. Can you hear me? Can anybody hear me? Hi, Chew. Hi, Cat. Hi, Bob. Can anybody hear me? Do you hear me, Cat? Hi, Mojo. Hi, Bob. I don't think anybody can hear me. Okay, so let's remove this. Can you guys hear me now? Can you hear me, Bob? Hello? Hi, Travis. Oh, you can hear me. So is Bob not talking, or does he have not have sound? Yes, we can hear you. Okay. Can you hear me, Bob? I don't think Bob can hear me. You don't hear me? Everybody else hears me. We can't hear Bob. I know Bob's got no sound. You have no sound, Bob. I can't hear Bob at all. Grasshopper says he hears me. Hi, PJ. Hi, Grasshopper. I don't know what's up with Bob. No audio, Bob. Let's throw this up and see if he sees it on the screen. No, I don't have you muted. I don't have you muted. Oh, I know, huh? So hi, Chu, and anybody else I missed in chat. And hi, can you hear me, Bob? Or are you like totally can't hear have no sound at all? Can you hear me, Bob? Well, this isn't good. I know, Travis, he appears to be muted, but I don't have him muted, and it doesn't look like he's got himself muted. I checked, and it's my mic. Okay. Uh-oh. Be right back. Okay, maybe he can turn it off and turn it back on again. And Blacky says he'll be a little bit late, and he's not sure what Sarah's doing, so I don't know if Sarah's going to be in quick or in later. I don't know. But I guess we'll put the art back up for a little bit. Yep, it's running. Okay. GRB, hello, hello. How are you? I know exactly what Bob's problem is. He has an iPhone. I don't know. I don't know. But I have a box of donuts sitting here and I don't have one of them. Oh, okay, we'll try Bob again.
Says it's working now.
Oh, it's working now. Yes, I hear you. Yay!
It's my mic for some reason.
Huh. Did you unplug it and plug it back in again?
No, it's not. It's my phone.
Oh, okay.
I always stream off my phone. Even though I just got a new computer.
You just got a new computer?
Yeah, about a month ago.
Hmm.
Yeah, I haven't had time to fool with it much. It's in my bedroom, so I don't know nobody. It's at that tall desk, you know, with the standing chair.
I have donuts.
Well, that's nice. I can't have donuts.
I probably shouldn't have donuts.
You're only going to live long. I mean, one time I was thinking and not that much longer, but I decided not to say the last part. I'm in the same boat. I'm in the same boat.
Today I woke up though, and my eyes were fairly clear. I mean, I can still feel a little bit of fogginess on the sides, but they're pretty clear today. And my feet had shape to them too. Now they're swelled up at the end of the day, but I felt like I might live for a while this morning when I got up.
Well,
and I had feet.
When I woke up today, I had your eyes. I couldn't hardly see anything, and I thought it was my glasses, but it wasn't. And I hate my eye drops. I've only got a week till I go to the eye doctor for exam, and I'm going to come out of there with some eye drops. But I had bigger than I have now, big, huge bags under my eyes. I'm like, what the hell? You're probably right, Sam. It's a damn iPhone. You're probably right. I have a new snake and a chameleon that'll be here in less than 12 hours.
Oh, very nice.
Yep. They had a big sale at Underground Reptile, and if you bought anything $50 and more, you got a free ball python, a free chameleon, or a free something else. And I thought, God, I have enough just ball pythons, and it would be like a normal. So I have some of those. So I got a chameleon. So, but the snake that I got I'm excited about it. Real excited about it.
What kind is it?
Well, what I was going in to order was the guy that was on the reptiles the other night, Nate. He had the false water cobra.
Yeah, that was pretty cool looking snake.
Yeah, well, he's the one that's getting me in trouble with all these snakes. I got the big blood python because he has that one. And then I go in the store one day and there it is for like half of what they normally cost. And I mean, just an awesome snake. So I thought about it over the weekend, but I did go back and get it, of course. But then I thought I was ordering a false water cobra, but it was not. And I caught it in time to change the order. But after I figured out what I'd ordered, I thought that's even cooler.
Yeah.
It really is. It's not that's a South American snake. This is an Egyptian and Lower European and all, but it's a true false cobra. It's a mimic. In other words, the one that he has isn't a mimic. It just evolved that way and looks like a water snake.
Yeah.
That's what they call it. And it's not mimicking anything. It just happened to evolve that way in a different continent away. But these guys really are mimicking cobras, and they hood up and hiss and all that. And like the other one, they're venomous. So I'm letting it come on. I've watched a ton of information about it, and
Oh, hello.
the guy Clint that I'm forget his channel that I'm subscribed to. He said if you're thinking about getting one, don't. And so I was going to get it then.
Yeah.
But they're totally different. They're kind of like a legless lizard kind of thing in that they're real squirrely, and you don't put substrate in. You put in sand or a sand mixture with soil, and they dig. They dig constantly. So, but I've got the key for that. I've got big rocks. I've been taking out these big tanks and tons of sand. And I've got a 55 right here that I've still got to clean the sides up, but I'm drying the sand out, and there's some of the rocks. This is the one that was in my kitchen that you always would say that's so odd or so interesting. So I've got lots of wood. So I've got desert set up. I just don't have a lid for it, damn it. So I had a lid and somebody stole it out of the back of my truck
No.
at the fish swap in Chattanooga.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, that sucks.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm going to be working in here some tonight. I think just quietly. I've got to put on some more lights on these tanks and move some of the snakes out of those little 10 gallons down to the 20 and the 29s. Got two more tanks to get in here. If you can see a place to put them, let me know. Got a 40 and a 29. It's wall to wall. I guess I could.
You have been very busy.
I have. Plus, I'm at the Ark, but right here's the only place I could go up, and I could put a stand right there that would barely fit between there.
Yeah.
So that's probably where it'll go. My scorpion's liking being out of that little plastic thing. I still haven't got him all set up, but he's been eating crickets like there's no tomorrow.
How long do they live?
Not long. I think like 5 or 6 years. He's grown quite a bit since I've had him. Do I need? No, I don't, GRB. I checked on that way back when I started, when he got this one maybe, or was talking about getting this one on his live streams like 6 or 8 months ago. It was a baby. This one's not a baby. It's a yearling. So it's a good sized snake, and they get 6 to 8 feet. Yeah, it's the real deal. Not that his is not. It's just a totally different snake. It looks just like a cobra. Maybe when Dr. Black gets here, he'll bring up a video of them. I mean, they dig like hell. Their heads specially shaped too, and they like reach out and dig and scoop bigs like a dog's paw. I'm like, oh
wow.
hell. One girl was saying I can't keep anything in place. It's because she had little sticks and shit in there. I'm like, no, I got some of these like 5 and 8 pound rocks that they won't move those. Or it won't move those. It's just one of them. What was the picture? I'm watching the chat.
Yeah, I don't know which picture he was looking at either, because they're a little bit behind what we're seeing on StreamYard, because of the lag. So
I was almost late because I was over on Instagram or TikTok or something looking at a picture of Amy the day that Sam got her, and then today.
Oh wow.
Yeah, she's grown up.
Yeah, she definitely, and she's a cutie. It looks like she's a really nice dog too.
She's very regal in the picture taken today.
Oh, the teepee, yeah, the storm clouds.
No, you can't collect anything, Glenn or GRB, in Tennessee unless it's invasive. You can't take it out of the water or out of the field or anything unless it's invasive. But you have to kill it. But you're supposed to kill it. But they kind of don't care what you bring in. There's a few things, I mean, when you go out and look, or a few dozen, but that's not one of them. I guess they've not had a lot of people bringing Egyptian false cobras in.
Tiger snakes here flatten their head like a cobra too.
Yes, I love there's several tiger rat snakes, and yours is one of the most beautiful one, but those suckers are $300 and $400, Pam.
Oh wow.
They're gorgeous. Yeah, I love the tiger rat snakes. I think Malaysia has one that's really, really pretty. We don't have one though here, I don't think. They're just super expensive. What is the little Native American boy in full regalia, Sammy? Oh, was it yeah.
No, it's the painting of the storm that he liked with the teepees in front of it. Oh, there's Blacky. I'm going to go ahead and pull my art down. Hello.
Hello there.
Dr. Black.
How's it going? Good.
Oh, I got to start my cam back up again.
It's going.
You just have more audio issues before I came in.
Yeah.
It was for some reason it was my mic on my iPhone it wasn't muted, it just wasn't working, because when I went back into settings to see if it tested, it didn't. So I went out and came back in and it worked. So who knows? Like Huawei said, it's probably because it's an iPhone.
Likely.
Is Sarah coming tonight?
I'm really not sure. I know she's trying to get a bunch of scanning done, which with her computer takes an awful long time. So I'm not sure if look out.
You know what that is, don't you?
I believe it must be the package from her, is it?
Yes, it is.
That
The
looks
one that
familiar.
went via Bob.
Yeah. I held it hostage for like 3 or 4 months.
The anticipation must be booming.
Yeah.
I had you could see some shape to my feet this morning when I woke up. I was so happy. And my eyes were fairly clear. They're not totally clear, but they're fairly clear again. So I'm hoping that they won't spray. Hi, Kiwi. Because if they spray for bugs, then I'll be back where I started from. But for right now, they're pretty good. So
fingers crossed.
And my feet were good too. So I got up with my feet good. And the my feet good and my eyes good. And I thought, gosh, I might live another year. You know, who knows? But yeah, made me feel good. And I got my mail, and yep, things are coming along good. Now I just got to get to the post office, but I got to raise some money first. But I'm not going to try to do an auction tonight. I think I'll wait because I'm not quite ready yet.
G'day, Steve.
Hey, Steve.
BJ.
So what do you got going on?
Nothing at the moment. Just had my gardener guy leave. Got him to cut down another disgusting tree for me. It's made this beautiful big space out on the creek bank.
What kind of trees are you taking out though?
That was a privet. Don't know if you're familiar with that one.
I am not. Is it like a big tree or is it a small ornamental tree?
I think they were brought into the country as ornamental trees, but they like the climate so much that they get quite large, and they have massive big florets of flowers that I think stink quite disgustingly, and they give my mum hay fever. So, yeah.
Is it like a deciduous tree then?
No, it's all year round.
Oh.
But it it has really thick, dark green leaves. Actually, I think they do use them for hedges, BJ. But ours was just the one tree. But yeah, getting way too big. I wanted old mate to kill it off and get rid of it completely, but he suggested that we actually leave it there to stay alive, so its root system holds the creek bank up. Or assists in that process, because the floods, and over time we have built a fairly massive retaining wall on the creek bank, but there's lots of places where it's still eroding and falling apart. G'day, GRB.
When
Yeah.
So are you into spring yet?
Yes, we started the spring 6 days ago,
All right.
Nice.
and we've had yesterday and today were very, very warm days, which generally indicates at this time of year that we might get some good heavy rains. We had some massive heavy rain for about 15 minutes last night and lost power for a bit. That was quite
Well,
late though, so everyone was in bed when it happened.
we had a high in the 60s today, and right now it's like 51, so it's kind of cool. I think fall is just about here. I don't know about the rest of the U.S., but here it's coming fast. It's cooling off fast here. But I know places like California and stuff still have like super high temperatures in Oregon.
It cooled off here. It's been in the low 80s so far this week.
See, we're getting like yesterday, I think our high was like 72, and today it was like 68. So we're definitely getting into cooler temperatures here. And I don't mind. I like fall. Fall's my favorite time of the year.
Yeah, I like the autumn, and the spring's okay, but the spring, just means that it's about to get hotter, so I don't like the hot one.
Yeah, see, and here spring's always super windy, whereas fall isn't. So I prefer fall. Plus, I love the autumn colors.
We don't get as much of the leaf changing trees around here, the deciduous trees.
Yeah, I started to say we have a privet animal, and then while I was listening to conversation, I realized it was a.
Yeah, see, we're looking at
Not a
60s and
privet.
70s for highs for like the next week and a half. So I think fall is coming fast. Yeah, that was 97. So I don't know about the rest of the country, but here it's dropping into 70s and 60s for highs. So it was kind of a short summer, and we didn't have a real hot summer this year, thank goodness. We had like a lot of rain and a lot of moisture, and I think we had one day it got up to 90, and that was it. And we had like maybe 4 or 5 days when it got up to 85, which is kind of like my limit of before I get absolutely miserable. So we didn't have that bad of a summer at all this year. Last summer we had 85 degrees for like months and months and months, and I was just so miserable. But this year it's been fairly cool. Fairly cool, like highs in the low 80s or high 70s for most of the summer, which I could totally live with that. But the rest of the country wasn't so lucky. I know like in Portland and Northern California and stuff, it was well into the hundreds for a lot of the summer.
Privets are related to olives. Poisonous berries, though, not like olives. Because I had myself convinced that they were related to black pepper tree, but no, they're not. Because when the flowers turn into berries, they look a lot like. Actually, they flower and berry up very similar to a pepper tree.
Hey, Craig.
G'day, Craigos.
Sunny day, 64 degrees, refreshing overnight rain. See, that's perfect. I like that kind of weather. But you guys have really, really hot summers, so you've got that to look forward to now.
Oh. No such thing as a black pepper tree. I wonder what the ones were I was eating then. Hopefully not privets. Poisonous. Brazilian pepper tree. Possibly. Anyway, that's enough about
Oh, they
privet
get
trees. Off on
glossy
my own
privet
tangent.
gets like blueberry looking things on it. But
What's
you
that?
say they're poisonous?
The privet.
Yeah.
Yeah, tiny little berries. They say more than 5 berries can be quite detrimental to a human's health.
Oh. Says that they're related to they're in the olive tree family.
Yeah.
I love some olives.
Oleaceae. It has, hasn't it, Craig? Yesterday was hotter than today, but today's still quite warm. Hi, Sandy. Trav, I don't know if I said hi to you before or Kat.
'90s in Minnesota again. Rare for September. See, it usually starts cooling off in September here. And a lot of times by the 1st of October, we can quite possibly have our first snow. And usually, definitely by Halloween, we have our first snow. So, yeah.
What are you going as for Halloween, Pam?
Myself,
All right.
the scariest of all, most scary of all creatures, an old lady.
Right.
Nasty.
Dr. Black, did you hear me talking about getting a new snake?
No, I didn't.
Oh, yeah. I think he
Yeah.
wanted to tell you about that and see what you thought.
Well, not in detail because I already did that, but I have been following somebody for a while that got one of the blood pythons. That's what got me interested. So then he got a South American water snake. And it's not a true mimic because they don't have cobras in South America, so they've never seen them to mimic them, but they just kind of evolved like cobras did, over in Egypt and so forth. So it's kind of cool. But I was looking for them because Underground Reptiles had a sale where if you bought anything over $50, anything, they you still have to pay shipping, but you could get a chameleon, a common ball python, or something else. And so I said, I'll take a chameleon. But I started looking for the cobras, the false cobras, and I found them, but I ordered the wrong ones. I ordered the one that's in Egyptian, and they're the real deal. I mean, they are the mimic. They hood up and raise up. The water ones don't and hiss, and they live in very arid, sandy.
Frozen.
Froze.
Holy shit! And like the
Bob's got the dodgy internet tonight, eh?
do I?
Yeah. Yeah, you cut out on about half of that.
It's this room. I'll leave it over here. I'll be able to hear me now.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Face is
And
still
over
frozen though.
But you lost the last
Anyway.
part of this description of the snake. You need to do that over again so Blacky can hear.
They really are. I went ahead and let the order go through. I had time to change it, but I let it go through because the snake lives in an arid region and they dig sand. They don't have bark or soil or anything. They really live in sand and they dig and tunnel. And I've seen some videos on YouTube and they tear the hell out of a terrarium. So I'm just going to do some sand and some really heavy rocks, which I already have plenty of from breaking down tanks. And like the false water cobra, though, from South America, they are venomous, but they're rear-fanged. So I've got to get me some gloves, too. And, like any of those venomous, it could mess up your day or it could mess up. It just depends on how you So,
Yeah, lots of the
yeah, that'll be noon tomorrow. It's
lots of those mildly venomous guys. That their venom itself is not necessarily what causes problems with people. It's people
TJ.
like our brown
yeah. I
tree
watched a
snakes,
video.
pretty harmless venom wise, but people can get real crook just from reactions. G'day, TJ. What did you say your Egyptian one's called? I'm gonna look it up.
Clint's reptiles. You know, it's just an Egyptian false cobra. I can't remember the scientific name. They're like a cobra. You know, they act like a cobra. They're very jumpy and don't miss anything that's going on around them. And they get like 6 to 8 feet, I think it said. This
Quite pretty.
Huh?
Very pretty.
Yeah. I've got to get me some Kevlar gloves. One of the reviews I watched said, if you're thinking about getting one, don't. I thought, damn. So that really made me want it.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody that has one. I do know some people that have the one from South America. Wonder where somebody could get
So they
Kevlar
can get
gloves.
pretty big.
Yeah. It's a yearling. It's a yearling, so I think they said it would be about 20 inches. And it's wild caught, wild collected. We're supposed to say collected now, not caught. It's not as offensive, I guess. So I'll have to grease it up, you know, good, and worm it and all that crap, like I did the Brazilian rainbow.
Very cool.
No
So, yeah,
ropes.
just looking it up then, there seem to be plenty of people holding them quite comfortably.
Yeah, yeah. I guess if you get to know them, you know, and that kind of thing. When Clint on his show he did a review a year ago, and he does that 5 out of 5 review, you know, like a garter snake would be a 4.5 or something like that. This snake got like a 1.28 or something on his scale. Handleability and feeding and access and price and temperament and stuff like that. So, but yeah, a lot of people hold them. He was holding it, but he was wearing gloves.
Yeah.
Our gloves.
Yes, I suppose not worth the risk.
And
really.
on our top thing the other day, Nate that brought his out, he's awesome. He only has 7 snakes, but they're all awesome snakes. He had on gloves for a while, and then it settled down, but he could just tell that it was in a little mood, he said. But they don't have anti-venom for them either. I checked that. So wouldn't be something your local hospital would stock here in Tennessee anyway.
No doubt.
Anyway, so I'll have to have my
So you don't want to get bit.
No.
I tried
If you do,
G'day, trash cat.
if I do, I'll just cut it and suck it out of there. Rebel Bob.
Interesting, GRB. Order rejected, then released. Maybe it had to go through a channel of
Hey, Reels.
important people. G'day, Reels.
Oh.
Need to work out where Trash Cat and Huawei ended up with that tramp stamp picture too, who it was actually going to in the end. If they can.
So I have just been working away. I'm not quite ready for an auction yet, but just about. And I got, I found the entry for the Cheyenne Frontier Days, which is next year in the spring or early summer. So, but the entry date is like in November. So I'm thinking I might do something for that this year. I haven't done anything for shows for a while.
That's a good
And
idea.
that's always kind of
Something to
nice
do.
because if
You
I do
should.
something for that and it sells, I usually mark them like for about $3,000. So that would tide me over quite a while if I sold one of them. Like got into the show. Problem with it is like the entries in November and the show's not for like 6 to 8 months after that. So that's one problem with shows. But if you have patience, it works.
Where did you say it's at?
In Cheyenne, which is the next town over from here, it's like 45 miles from here. So that's not too bad.
Very good. At least you don't have to, or you shouldn't have to pay for shipping. You could go for a drive over. Nice.
Right. Somebody said house fluid. I didn't remember who. He's fine. He's fine. I was going to tell on him and show Pam and Blacky a video. Well, I did, but he messed it up. He knows I hate that. He picked that up, so he does it sometimes for an hour, not that much. And so I'm like, I'm going to show Pam how you do me. He knew I had it on him. I think he flew over and got food and drink all over him. He's a mess.
Sarah says she can come for a little bit. She'll probably come to see you unbox her parcel.
Yep, I'm waiting for her.
Too, because you know how hard it was not to peep at that and at all that time.
How hard it was
really
to do what?
Hard.
Or not to do what?
To peep in at that. Pam's art.
My scissors.
Yeah, what Real said. Yeah.
Yeah, and the fact that they've got to grab onto you for a decent period of time to be able to chew their venom into you.
Yeah, it seems like you could like get them off of you before they really did a lot of damage.
Mm.
Yeah.
I
Y'all know how
of
fast I was
with your boa. Or,
yeah. Sorry.
Or boa. Yeah, I only know of one guy who's he took a bite from a brown tree snake, which if you're familiar with my videos, I've got several videos of me handling them.
Yeah.
Very pretty snake, rear fanged, mildly venomous. So normally it's just localized pain and stuff. This fella ended up spending 2 or 3 nights in hospital because he had such a bad reaction to the venom.
Oh,
but again, that just varies from person to person, you know?
Yeah. That's like Black Widow spiders. Everybody's scared of them, but basically it's like a real bad bee sting. But if you're allergic to bee stings, the Black Widow is going to get you because it's the same kind of poison.
Yeah.
But most people that get bit, it's just like being stung by a bee, unless you get like a whole bunch of stings.
They said that it would kill a mouse pretty quick. The Egyptian one.
Ah.
The venom. So.
They are similar venom as well, TJ. TJ says the same about rattlesnake venom. That if you're
Yeah,
allergic to
rattlesnakes
it,
usually don't kill you unless you are very small or very old. Like kids and old people are in more danger than a young, healthy adult. A rattlesnake bite usually isn't going to be really horrible on you. Although it's not going to feel good. I've known more than one person who got bit while they were like moving bales of hay and have like bad scars and shriveled up areas on their arms from where they got bit. But it didn't kill them, and they never went to the doctor for it, but you can tell they got bit.
My Mastiff survived the vet said it had to be a rattlesnake. We don't have technically in this area, but you know how that is. And he said there was no way a copperhead had fangus that far apart, but it bit her on the forearm. But she killed it. It was in the dog lot with her and the puppies.
Wow.
She survived it.
It was a rattlesnake, did you say, or was it a copperhead?
He said it was a rattlesnake. There was nothing left of it. She totally destroyed it. She scratched it with her. She was 160 pounds, so it didn't stand a chance.
Wow. That's a big doggy.
She's the sweetest thing, too.
Often the case with those big, scary-looking dogs.
She got cancer in, I think it was her other foreleg. I said foreleg. And I took her to the vet because she started limping. I took her like 2 days right after it started. And he said by the time they're symptomatic, it's already, he said it's in her chest, I'm sure. And so he did x-rays, and sure enough. And I took her home on pain medicine, but I had to take her back within a week. The pain medicine wouldn't hold her. And he kept telling me I could double it, you know, but I should have never brought her home. But, you know, it's hard to let go.
Absolutely.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I'll never forget. I knew some people in Billings, Montana.
When you're 13 years old, you don't care how old is usually for death.
Yeah. But when I knew some people in Billings that had like a bird dog, like a German short hair.
Pam, I think we're almost married, and I'm always doing a ceremony in the
Oh, no. Oh, no. But anyway, they took her to the vet, and it's a very expensive and popular vet in Billings. And they gave her a clean bill of health. And a week later, and I mean seriously, a week later, she fell into the canal and they couldn't find her. And when they finally found her, she was almost dead. And they rushed her to an emergency vet, and she was totally full of cancer all throughout her body.
Wow.
And the other vet a week earlier had given her a totally clean bill of health and charged him for it. So, yeah, you got, if you find a good vet, stick with them, because they aren't all good vets.
Just because you've been to university doesn't mean you're good at your job.
Yep, exactly.
BJ, from what the Tennessee, I follow Facebook, the Tennessee Snake ID page, and I actually have learned to identify. We don't have that many snakes here, but a lot of them look the same. But the few rattlesnakes that we do have here, even though they say we don't have them, people say that they are nomadic and they won't stay. You know, they're not like a rat snake or a corn snake. You know, they won't hang out around the barn for chickens and stuff. They might kill a chicken or two and leave, but they leave. So I don't know. 7-foot coontail rattler.
Yeah, I've seen rattlesnakes in Texas that way too. I mean, their heads are just as big as my fist. In Oregon and Washington, where I've lived most of my life, a rattlesnake, their head is maybe 2 to 3 inches long, and the average size is like 1.5 to 2 feet. But I have seen one 6-footer when someone was doing like irrigation. It was inside one of their irrigation pipes, and it was 6 feet long when they got it out of there. So yeah, they can get that big in Oregon and Washington, but usually not. But Texas gets some big rattlesnakes in Texas.
I can see quite clearly why they call it a coontail rattlesnake. That's quite pretty.
I'll have to look that up. I don't know what a
BJ,
coontail
as you know, a lot of snakes, even little corn snakes, they'll rattle shake their tail, vibrate their tail, and mimic the sound of a rattler, you know, by hitting dry leaves and stuff. So that may be all it is. Hopefully it is. What do they call a doctor that is last in their class? Doctor.
Yeah, doctor.
Absolutely
Yeah,
right.
that's absolutely correct. I always say that too. What do you call someone who finished last in medical school? Doctor. So I don't always trust what they say because they aren't always right.
No,
Not
they're
that I'm
not.
pessimistic about it, but yeah.
We have I don't know if I've probably talked about death adders before here, but they have a similar like tail to a rattlesnake. Well, it's not really that similar. It's just short, and when they coil up, they put the tail near their mouth and they wiggle it around like a little worm to lure prey.
Oh, yeah, that's different. Rattlesnakes actually, you can tell how old they are by how many rattles they have because they get a rattle every time they shed. And the rattle is just like dry skin with a little hard thing in it that makes a noise when they shake it. And from when I used to go arrowhead hunting and stuff in the desert in Oregon, it's like the average rattlesnake that would see would have like 7 or 8 rattles. And they'd be like 1.5 feet, 2 feet long at the most. But like I say, there are some that get big over there because I have seen a couple, but I was thoroughly impressed when I moved to Texas and saw my first rattlesnake there because their heads are literally like the size if you ball up your fist. That's how big their heads are.
Well, that's kind of the design of the death adders too. They're short, chunky snakes, but their head is, you know, almost thicker than the thickest part of their body. Like a little fist on the end of their body.
Yeah.
My, what big venom glands you have.
Okay, Kiwi.
I need to get up
But
and
I'm
be
not
working.
sure if the size of the snake makes a difference in how much venom they have. Because from what I've heard, a baby rattlesnake, one that's a newly hatched rattlesnake, has enough venom to kill a person. So
Same strength from birth to death.
yeah, I think a lot of it depends on how long it's been since they last used their venom and if they decide to inject you with the whole thing or not.
Yeah, the biggest difference is obviously a smaller snake's going to have smaller venom glands, so they potentially can inject less into you, but you know, lots of venom is still a fatal dose.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Sarah
just had a
has
big discussion
the
about
echo
that.
thing going on again.
I hear it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I won't stay for long.
Oh, that's wild. Cragos. I've only had one close call with a chainsaw. Didn't break my skin, thankfully. Well, that sucks about your audio, Scungy.
Yeah.
Scungy, Sarah, look what I got.
That's exciting.
I actually had today, so. So I'm going to open it right now.
Blow
Not
it. Blow
have to
yourself up.
You might have to ride your mute button, Sarah.
Yeah, I'll.
Just unmute yourself when you need to talk. Hey,
Like
Bunny.
just for a little
Bunny.
second.
Bunny, hello. Okay, so I'm just going to cut right along the top of this. I was debating whether to do a video of it or wait till the live stream. And since the live stream was tonight, I decided to do it during the live stream. So we have this.
Did you get some photos, Kragos? That's what you should have done. Yeah, trash cat. Thinking the same thing.
Aha, it's in one of those plastic sleeves. I've done this myself before, so. It's got to put it open. There we go. Out of the plastic sleeve. And now it's in the envelope. And I'm opening it up. Oh my goodness. We got a card. I love it. Love it. Look at the skulls. Oh my gosh.
Oh, I like that card.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Nice.
And some skulls, like a bookmark. I love it.
Nice.
And a little note from her saying thank you for all your support over the years and having me on your streams. Well, of course, it's a pleasure. And this is the note card again. I love it. Love it. Yay.
It's
Very
awesome
nice.
that it's finally got to you.
Yeah.
Oh, it's been sitting in my mailbox for a while, but
Got
you
down
know,
to-
my damn health has not been the best, but I'm improving. I am definitely improving. So I didn't know I would, but like I say, I got up this morning and my eyes were fairly clear and I had feet, like actual shaped feet this morning, which I haven't seen for quite a while. So I was kind of happy. Now they're swelled up again, but that's because it's nighttime, so that's going to happen. But this morning when I got up, I had feet. And you guys that are young just don't know what I'm talking about, but yeah. So thank you, Sarah. That's totally awesome.
I'm just scared to unmute and ruin everyone's audio, but I'm glad that you got it at last. So
Yeah, yay.
yay.
I don't hear an echo now. Oh, there
I
it is.
do.
Oh,
I
there
do.
it is.
Bunny says it's always good to wake up with
Yeah, that's true. They're very handy.
Yeah, when rattlesnakes call up, back to rattlesnakes again. Rattlesnakes can strike. I think it's two-thirds their body. So that when they're coiled up, they can't like stretch out their whole body. It's like two-thirds of their body is how far they can strike. I learned this stuff because I used to be around them a lot. The closest I've ever come to getting bit was I was walking along in the desert in between sagebrush and stuff. And out there where we used to hunt arrowheads, it's like there's not even a highway or anything close to you. So it's like total silence. Like there's no background noise of cars or anything. It's just like total silence, right? So you can hear like if a lizard drops out of a bush, like a piece of sagebrush, or a lizard hits the ground like 12 feet from you, you can hear that little thump when it hits the ground because it's like total silence. Well, I was walking along and I heard a thump by my foot. I looked down and a rattlesnake had struck at me and missed. Like he was maybe about 4 inches short of getting me. But his head ended up just right by my foot. The thump that I heard was his head hitting the ground when he struck at me and missed. So that's probably about the closest I've ever come to getting bit, which in reality was pretty damn close.
That's close enough.
Pretty damn close, yes. And it was one that he was really bright colored, so I know he had just finished shedding. So I think he was just in a really bad mood because of the shedding and stuff. So yeah. But he just damn near got me.
Craig, where on old mate's leg was that? Was it just below his knee at the front? Oh, I see. Right, I've worked it out now. It's on the left thigh. Pretty brutal. I don't know if I should hold it up and show it. We might have squeamish people in the audience.
What's going on?
Not me.
Craig sent me pictures of his mate's leg that had his chainsaw injury.
Oh, ouch.
Do you want to see it? I know Trash Cat does. Spongy probably
Yeah.
does too. She likes to do that.
Yeah, I do. People can look away if they don't want to see it.
That's what I was just I'm gonna give people, squeamish people, a warning. If you don't like blood and guts, because there's quite a bit of blood and guts, look away now until I say that I've put the picture down. Give you another second to look away. Oh, now we've got glare.
Oh my gosh, that is nasty.
That's just on the outside of the left thigh.
Yeah, that's an owie for sure. Ouch.
Is that a cross section?
Almost. What do you mean, Bob?
That's ouch.
Righto, the nasty picture's down.
Is that like a cross section, like looking into a dissected thing?
Yeah. We're basically looking at his leg going horizontal across the screen and then the cuts going in vertically.
Yeah.
I had a friend who had a son the same age as Tucker. And when he was I think he was about 4 years old, his dad took him up in the woods to cut trees. And the chainsaw like flicked back on him and cut his son right across his chest. And they had to rush him to the hospital for emergency stitches and stuff. It was pretty bad.
Sorry, Chainsaw Massacre. Good one, GRB.
Yeah, chainsaws can be bad.
I'm surprised the skin itself isn't all tore up. Like it's pretty clean into the skin.
Must have had the teeth really sharp. Oh.
Yeah, true. Bunny Viper asking about when her art was posted and approximately how long it takes to get over there. Sorry, Bunny. I'll let Sarah field this one. And we'll be quiet.
Now, if you don't be quiet, you'll just echo and stuff. Anyway, I don't want I have to wreck everyone else's audio just by being here. But hi, Bunny. So It depends on how long it takes to get there. The quickest ever is I had one that I posted to Sam that was there within a week, and I've had others that take a few weeks, but it didn't get posted until, I'm trying to think how long ago it was when I did it. Like, I think you would be starting to expect it, but what happened, if you haven't been here, because I have tried to tell a couple of times since I've just come back on the streams, that they did get delayed in postage because I thought that I'd sent them off with someone to go to the post office and they didn't actually get posted. And so then I don't find that out until a bit later. So when I got them back, then I posted them. So don't stress on that account. But I think, yeah. So it's been like over a week, at least. I'm trying to like put together and remember what day it was when I finally got them back and posted them. But yeah, they take a little, like, it depends. And I think because like what side of the country you're on as well can depend on how far away from major centers and stuff. But yeah, but I'm sorry. I'm excited for you to get it and hope that, yeah, that they will arrive soon. Because, yeah, there was quite a few in that little envelope. Is everyone just being quiet? Because I will.
Yeah, because if we talk, it's going to echo. But you don't echo when you talk. But if we talk and you have your sound on, then it sounds really bad. So we wanted to give you a chance to talk so people can hear what you had to say. Because if we would have checked in, it would have been really echoey.
I'd like to see if getting Chrome fixes it, even though it's worked for so long on Firefox.
That's what I use as Chrome. So
I think it's the one that StreamYard recommends. But the fact maybe there's some kind of update happened with Firefox or something, because since it said to you that echo cancellation does not work with this browser.
I'm muting mine because I'm making hell of a noise in here cleaning and slamming and stuff.
How big was that light?
Oh, it's like a garage light or whatever. It was on that tank before. I just had to wipe it off. Wonder what I could clean that tank with in there. I don't have any like Barkeeper's Friend. I don't know.
Yeah, I've got a 6 foot long light on my 6 foot tank, but it's got 2 3 foot tubes in it, and they're 2 different colors. So that's a little bit unfortunate.
That doesn't have any color. It's just the cheap light with LEDs. It's 4 foot. Sorry, I didn't ever answer, did I? 4 foot.
There's one of Sarah's very cool shirts on her chair there. You may think it's a Black Sabbath shirt, but it's Cat Sabbath. All of the band members have cats' heads.
Here I am. Are you working on art, Pam or Sarah or Blacky?
I'm going to be here in just a minute.
Not me.
Me either. I want to get this done tonight if I can. If then I can.
Well, you've done a lot since last time you showed us. You've been
Yeah.
a busy
Oh,
boy.
yeah. Well, and I'm getting ready to move some snakes into larger tanks too. For sure.
Now, are you going to try to heat up that whole room over the winter time instead of, like having separate heaters?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing now because I keep my air on 72 and it's running like 78 in here. So, but it's very dry. It's not humid, so I like it in here. It's really nice to have a place that I don't have to sit out in the dining room.
Oh, that's cool.
And handle snakes.
Got a Tea Fury shirt as well.
Are you talking to me?
No, I was talking to Sarah. She responded in sign language.
I see.
Going to play a game of charades, Sarah.
Yeah. I'll go first. Can you guess what I am? Sweet.
A slave to the grind.
Yep. You got it. You got it.
Yeah, we had approximately 15 minutes of torrential rain last night. I think I was saying that just before. None of it made it to Sarah's house. And
Are you serious?
the lawnmower dude who was here earlier, he lives, Ocean Shores. What's that from here? Maybe 13 or 14 kilometres in a straight line, maybe not even in a straight line. And he said his lasted for about 1 minute. There was loads and loads of thunder and lightning, and the power went out.
That's what we've been getting off and on all summer. Like at least 2 to 3 days, nights a week or afternoons a week, we've been getting thunderstorms. We had some today. We didn't have any, but yesterday we did. But today it's just flat and cold. It never got above 70 degrees today.
I think that must have been the only rain we got last night because it was pretty dry when I was up at 8 o'clock this morning.
So have you had to have the water truck out, Sarah? Let me get over here for hand gestures.
She hasn't.
All the rain.
She hasn't, but she said she's very close to thinking about it or something like that. Or was it dancing around the point of thinking about doing it? Something like that.
She was talking about it last time. So.
Well, I guess the one benefit is that you don't drink the tank water, do you? You drink bottled water. So, that's some of their water that they don't need it for anyway.
And
she also says that she hasn't ordered the truck yet, but she needs to, so it must be down to very dire straits at the bottom. Probably start washing the kids in sludge soon. It's not too bad then. But yeah, it's bad, but it could be worse. Yeah, that's probably what she's got the tail edge of, GRB. Small shower storm along Queensland, New South Wales border, inland from Coolangatta to Tweed Heads. Out of your water tanks or out of your fish tanks, Craig? The pump's always handy. Which I've still been slack and not got a pump for my water tanks. 10,000 litres of water sitting here wasted, and Sarah's got none. Yeah, so I think these hot days probably indicate that we've got some good rain coming.
We've got, looks pretty clear until Sunday and Monday. We got thunderstorms coming Sunday and Monday. That's what the weather report says anyway, but you know, we can't always trust it. I know that one night I was sitting here like listening to the thunder and lightning, and Bob checked on the weather channel and it said that we weren't getting any storms or anything. So yeah.
It's crazy.
Is that how many millimetres they predict, or is that the percentage chance of rain? Predicted millimetres. Yeah. I like that one of them was less than 1. Why don't they just say 0, for goodness sake?
Did Bob just yell ow?
Yeah, a leopard gecko bit me.
Oh my goodness. Ow.
Yeah, they don't play either. I don't know why he did it. Cleaning out his thing. Go on.
I kicked a large rock that I have sitting on the ground last night and thought I'd broken my toe.
Oh, ouch.
It's got a little bit of purple on it this morning and hurts more than it did yesterday, but I don't think it's broken.
I have broken on my right foot. I have broken my little toe so many times that I can't feel it anymore. Every once in a while, I'll be walking across the floor and I'll look down and it'll be like here's my foot, and the little toe will be out, sticking out like that. And then I'll just kind of tap the side of my foot to get it back into place. And it's like, I always look at it and think, damn, that's got to really hurt, but I don't feel it at all. But it just looks really awful. But that's because I've broken it so many times. As part of it's kicking furniture, but for quite a few years, I helped the neighbors with their, when they branded their calves every year. And I swear to God, every year I'd have a calf step on my foot and break my little toe every single year. So yeah. That's
consistency is key. Bob Huawei asks, how is Pugsley?
Pugsley is fine. Pugsley is doing fine.
I think he's
Very
testing my powers of observation too, aren't you, Huawei? You've got a new font on your Huawei thing.
I saw that just a day or so ago.
Yeah, I think he's been going to sleep early, Kragos.
Sarah says every time I've moved house, it's been raining. Oh my gosh, I remember one time I helped my son Tucker move, and he was moving into an apartment and in Billings, and he had some of his stuff because he would just finished up college, so he was moving out of the dorm and moving into an apartment. But he had some stuff over at his sister's house, at Courtney's house in Billings, in the garage. So, and I had a truck, so I was helping him move, and we went over to Courtney's house and we're loading up the boxes there, and we heard this rumble off in the distance. I'll never forget this. It was like, seemed like it was a ways off, and Tucker said, we'd better hurry, because I didn't have a cover on my truck or anything. So we hurried up and we just got like maybe 4 blocks and the sky just opened up, pouring down rain. I mean, just pouring down rain. And Tucker had boxes of books in the back of his truck, in the back of my truck. And they were, I mean, it was raining so hard that I could barely see the car in front of me. That's how hard it was raining. And it was so loud hitting the cab of my truck that Tucker was yelling at me. He was sitting in the passenger side and he was talking to me and I couldn't hear a word he said. And we were downtown and the traffic was bad and it was raining so damn hard that you couldn't, like I said, I couldn't even see the car in front of me. It was raining that hard. And I couldn't hear Tucker talking from the rain hitting the cab. And I remember sitting there in traffic thinking, oh my God, it can't get any worse than this. And then the tornado sirens went off. So, well, yeah, it could get worse than this. But yeah, his books, when we got over to his apartment, I mean, there was like one whole lane, like the passenger side, the lane on the passenger side was so flooded on the roads that you had to drive in the middle of the road. It finally quit raining before we got over to his new apartment, but he had boxes and boxes of books in the back of my truck, and he had to spread them out all over the house trying to dry them.
Bummer.
It was bad.
G'day,
But I'll never forget that moment when I was sitting there thinking to myself, oh God, it can't get any worse than this. And then the tornado sirens went off. I was like, fuck. Oh, Eldritch, hello.
I think my finches have a designated finch who, when they've run out of seed, goes over to the jar of seed and taps on the jar of seed to tell me to get them more seed.
Oh, really? That's pretty smart.
What is a glass jar, so they can see the seed in it, but it could just one guy going for the seed in the jar.
Now, do you have squirrels over there that get in bird feeders? You don't? You're lucky.
No. Just rats and mice.
A lot of people here it's hard to keep bird feeders full because the squirrels get into them.
Have you seen
they're
those?
real ingenious about climbing poles and jumping from tree branches onto the top of the bird feeders and then reaching down and grabbing all the food out and stuff. Yeah, they're pretty smart.
Have you seen those spinning around ones that when there's more weight than a bird's weight on there, the whole bird
I've seen those, yeah. And the other thing
really
I've seen people do is like grease the pole that the bird feeder's hanging on off of a pole, and they'll grease the bottom of it to where the squirrels can't get any traction to climb up it. Now, when I lived on Cape Cod, we had squirrels and chipmunks. But the chipmunks were okay because they just basically got the seed that the birds knocked loose onto the ground, and the chipmunks would get underneath and get it. But the squirrels were a pain in the butt, though.
Because they want all the food.
Mm-hmm. And they're also really bad about getting into the attic, so we got like a live trap and we'd catch them and then take them out in the country and dump them. But there was always more.
Quite prolific.
Mm-hmm. But my daughter, she used to like squat down real quietly and like fill up her hands with bird seed and just hold it real still, and the chipmunks would come and eat out of her hand.
Squirrels are represented in Australia by 2 introduced species, the American grey squirrel and the northern palm squirrel.
I think the gray squirrels are what I've always seen.
Grey squirrels have died out, and there is one colony of palm squirrels left in the wild around Perth Zoo, with another in captivity at Melbourne Zoo.
And when I lived on Cape Cod, we had gray squirrels, but there was one squirrel in our yard that was black. And from what I understand, that was like an imported one. They imported black ones from England or something, and there was some in the wild, but we had one black one in our yard.
Yeah, not sure, GRB, what he is.
I'm not sure either.
Some kind of ancient ancestor of a squirrel, perhaps. But then what was John Leguizamo's character, Sid? What sort of animal was he supposed to be? Like some kind of weasel or ferret or something. Yeah, I'm actually surprised, Mike, that they were introduced in the late 1800s, that they actually died out. Because generally they can be quite invasive, but I guess we had enough birds of prey and cats and snakes and whatnot to take them out.
Yeah, I know my uncle told me that in Nebraska, they lived in Indianola, Nebraska, and he said there used to be like a ton of squirrels there, and now there isn't any. And it's just because people got so determined to take them out, to thin out the population. They just killed off the population, and there wasn't anymore.
G'day, Debs. And there's, it was different times back then. They had no freaking idea what damage they were doing by bringing other animals over. Well, they say the fox is one of the most successful animals on the planet because everywhere it's been taken to, it's thrived.
Yeah. I think, I don't know, you guys probably don't have actual coyotes, but you have the dingoes, which probably takes their place in the ecosystem. But coyotes here can live anywhere. I mean, like downtown LA, where there's nothing but cement you can drive for 2 hours at 75 miles an hour on the freeway and not see anything but cement. And there's coyotes there. You see them there every once in a while on the sidewalks and stuff. They can pretty much survive anywhere. I saw another video today with a really big snake going from a rooftop to a tree in Australia. A different one than the one I showed the other night, another one.
Wonder, was it in the same town? Or you might have, just because you watched one, then the algorithm says you want to watch more.
That could be, yeah. Yeah, coyotes are pretty much everywhere in North America, but like I said, they can be like right in the middle of the city. I've seen them here in town too, like coming home from work at 11 o'clock at night. I stopped at a stoplight once and a coyote walked across, waited for the light to change, and walked across on the sidewalk in front of me. And I was like, Whoa, that's a smart coyote. He was waiting for the walk signal. We also had a cougar in town one night when I was working at the store downtown, and the siren kept going off on my phone, and it was like a warning because there was a cougar in town. And I'd say where he was spotted, and it was a ways away from the store, but it's like I just had this bad feeling. And when it came time for me to take the garbage out back to the dumpster, I was like, I ain't going back there because it's dark back there. And sure as shit, it wasn't 10 minutes later and the siren went off, and that damn cougar was spotted like half a block behind where the dumpster was. I was like, see, I told you guys. Not going back there in the dark.
That was a sensible decision that night.
Yes, it was. Because cougars don't normally attack people, but they're definitely opportunists. I had a friend that did a lot of hiking, and what he did to discourage the cougars, believe it or not, it's pretty smart, because a cougar will attack somebody that they think hasn't seen them, but if they think that you've seen them, they'll back off because they like the element of surprise. And I had this friend that did a lot of backpacking, and he sewed eyes on his backpack. So that when the backpack was on, it had eyes looking back behind him. And that was to discourage the cougars from coming up behind him because they'd see the eyes and think that he spotted them.
It's funny how animals just instinctively know to look in the eyes of other animals, and including humans, that eyes are a primary point of contact for all sorts of creatures.
Yeah. I think there's a lot to that, and wondering how it works, because the other thing is I think that a lot of animals like don't know you're there, but if you sit there and watch them, they feel it and they'll turn around and look right at you because they can feel your eyes on them. So I think that eyes are a lot more powerful than people realize.
Yeah.
Mercury cougars are awesome. Ha ha ha. Yeah, cougars usually, if you spot them, and if you make yourself look big and look right at them, they'll back down. But where they can get the jump on you and you've got your back to them and they don't think you've seen them, that's where you run into trouble, because they will jump on you and go for the back of your neck.
I saw a video yesterday of a dude just walking on a trail in the bush somewhere, and he's walking backwards away from this cougar that's coming down the path at him. And he's going, "I'm not staying here, cougar. I'm not going to bug you," but just talking in a normal voice. And the cougar just doesn't care, just keeps coming at him, and that keeps coming. And then dude comes around a corner, still walking backwards, and then the cougar disappears. That's got to be the scariest moment, when you can't see him anymore. Waiting for him to turn his back on it so it can pounce.
Yeah, cougars can be very quiet. And like say, if they get the jump on you, if you look right at them and they know that you've seen them, they'll back down. But it's the ones that you don't see that sneak up on you that are going to get you. And that's where people, a lot of people get attacked when they're riding a bicycle. And that's why, because a cougar runs up behind them and they don't hear it coming and don't see it, and it'll jump them from behind. And every once in a while, they will kill somebody.
No, that's good time made, Kragos. Doing well.
But around here, if you go backpacking, it's like if you run across a cougar or a black bear, you make yourself look big and, big and mean, and they'll usually back down. But you got to know your bears, because if you run into a grizzly bear, the last thing you want to do is make yourself look big. You want to not look at them. You don't look them in the eye, and you back up away from them. But black bears and cougars, you can intimidate, but you don't want to try to intimidate a grizzly bear, because it's like challenge him. It's like waving a red flag in front of him, saying, look, I'm tougher than you. And they're going to go, oh, no, you aren't. You don't have any bears in Australia, do you?
No. Yes, our biggest dangerous animals like that aren't even carnivores. Oh, dingoes, I suppose. Tasmanian devils. Probably not that dangerous.
But they don't have carnivores. I know the biggest, the animal that has killed the most people in North America is not a grizzly bear. It's a moose. Moose. And they aren't a carnivore, but they have a real bad temperament, and they will stomp you to death.
What about a honey badger? You have honey badgers there?
No. Strictly African, aren't they? Kalahari Desert region, I believe.
I think so. I saw one mess up 3 cheetahs. It walked away. They didn't.
Yeah, they're brutal, tenacious creatures. And they don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Honey badgers don't give a fuck.
I don't know if the Big Shrimp and Steve C says dingoes steal your babies, but I'm not sure if the news made it to the rest of the world that Lindy Chamberlain, that actually, yes, they do steal babies, because she went to jail for quite a period of time.
Yeah, and then they found their babies' pajamas and stuff in a dingo's den.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Huawei says Tasmanian devils actually spin in circles very fast while they're talking gibberish.
I've seen those before, yeah.
Yeah, it was actually dingoes in the end, Kragos. I believe
we have little badgers here. They aren't real big, but they are mean. They are mean little critters, and they will attack you.
My version of a badger is always the one from The Wind in the Willows, and he was just old and talked really slow and deep.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, how can they be ferocious? It's just a cranky old man.
They're little buggers.
Now, what's the difference in a badger and a wolverine?
Wolverines are quite large.
Oh, okay.
I think they're in the same family.
They're about the size of a small bear, whereas the badgers are a small animal, but they're nothing but muscle and teeth, and they can do a lot of damage if you piss them off. I'm not sure what the temperament of wolverines are. I've never seen one in the wild. My oldest daughter called me one time when she was driving through the mountains by Walla Walla, the Blue Mountains, and she called me up and she said, I just had this strange animal run across the road in front of me. She said it was like about the size of a small bear, but it was like really woolly looking and kind of different colors hair on it. And I had to think for a minute because I didn't have a clue. And then all of a sudden it hit me. God damn it, she saw a wolverine, and I've never seen one out in the wild before. I was jealous.
Oh, Jesus.
Wolverine will take a whole pack of wolves like honey badgers. Okay, I wasn't sure about their temperament. I know you don't want to mess with the badger. They're small and they're kind of cute looking, but they aren't cute. They're nothing but muscle and teeth and claws. And even when they're running towards you, it's just like rolling muscle. I mean, they're just nothing but muscle and teeth and claws, and they can be really mean.
So weasels, badgers, otters, martens, and wolverines are all in the weasel family.
What about civets? Civets.
Aren't they?
They're not.
Are they a feline? Aren't they? Because they're called
Maybe.
a muscat or something as well, but I'm not sure if they're a true feline.
I had a moose run in front of my car when I was on vacation in Maine. Yeah, they can do a lot. Moose are really big. They're a very big animal. You don't realize how big they are until you like pull it next to one in your car, and then it's like, holy crap, that's a big animal. Elk are also very big, but I think moose are even bigger than elk are.
Yeah, it looks like civets are their own family. Not quite feline, not quite dog.
Cat dog.
Yeah, my dad one time, and I don't condone this. It wasn't very smart. I don't know why he did it, but we were out arrowhead hunting. We were on foot. We weren't close to the car. And we looked across this little valley, and there was a badger. And my dad had his gun with him, and he decided he was going to shoot the badger. So he popped off a shot, and the badger started charging us. And my dad shot it 6 times as it was getting closer and closer to it, and he hit it 6 times, and that damn thing was still coming. And it finally dropped dead just a little bit in front of us. And like I said, they are mean animals. I don't know why the hell he did that, but it was not happy.
You probably didn't do it again.
No, like I say, they're nothing but muscle and teeth.
Have
And
you all
tenacity.
seen the video of the people walking on a trail and a badger's coming down the trail and it goes past them carrying a goat's head?
Ah, yes. Yes, I have seen that one.
Yeah.
G'day, June.
Okay.
Is that why you called him Chomper GRB? Because he's always chomping at you?
That's what I was walking like around the trailer court here one night. It was like 11 o'clock at night, and it was dark. And I got up close to where the highway road turns off from the highway, and I heard this growling. And I was like, "What the hell?" And I just kind of froze, and I started looking around. And finally, I saw it. It was a badger. I was like, "The road's yours. I'm getting the hell out of here. You can have it. You don't need to growl anymore at me. It's yours." And I've heard of badgers like chasing kids on bikes before and stuff too. Like I said, they're kind of nasty little critters. They look very cute, but they are not cute in personality at all.
This is the closest I've got to that false cobra, and it's a San Diego Basin or San Diego Bay gopher snake. And I have not handled her in quite a while, but I'm going to have to move her to her bigger habitat. Ooh, she's ready.
Are they mildly venomous or non-venomous?
No, I don't think gophers. I don't know. Now that you say that, I don't think gopher snakes. It's a native. They're native, of course, but I don't think they are. She wants a mouse. Is what she wants. Let's do that after you move.
What did you call your one?
San Diego something.
We'll call that one the Pacific gopher snake, maybe.
It's a different one than that. Pacific gopher's right above that, and they're in a lot bigger area. This one is just in the San Diego Bay. That's what it is, San Diego Bay.
Yeah, non-venomous.
Thank you.
Quite pretty though.
She's gorgeous. But she has a very strong food drive. Get your plant fixed anyway.
Well, I always put a link in the chat to that wolverine carrying a goat's head.
That's a pretty cool clip, you know.
And when it sees the person filming and it sort of freezes and has a look, and then it's like, yeah, I don't care. I'll keep going.
Yeah, there's a misunderstanding. Well, I'm carrying a big goat's head, so what are you going to do?
Walks as close as it possibly can to them.
Mm-hmm. It's going about its business.
They're pretty cute though, but yeah, same thing with badgers and most of those guys. They're fierce.
You know, back in the day, there was a show on called Bonanza, a Western here. And I remember one of the episodes, I've never forgotten it because I didn't know what a wolverine was. It was so mystical. And of course, no computer back in 1960 or early 60s. Anyway, people were all bedded down in the cabin and stuff at night, and the horses just went crazy. And I said, oh, it's a bear. And the guy said, no, it's a wolverine. I can tell by how scared they are. And I thought, well, what the hell's a wolverine? Worse than a bear, you know? And we got some encyclopedias not long after that. My mother got them so we could study for school and stuff. And I looked it up. And I'm like, that little thing? He's making no effort to come out, or she, it's a girl. You don't want to come out, lovely lady? No? She's hissing, but I don't think she's hissing at me. I think she's just hissing to be hissing. I need your house for sure.
Kragos, are you putting it back together exactly how you had it, or pulling it apart and time with it, giving you new ideas for how to assemble it all? That's probably the only good thing about moving house, is the opportunity to do things a little different.
Oh yeah, I forgot he was moving. He and Dale. It's just...
Ah, fair enough, dude.
She is so patient. She's waiting on her mouse. Gorgeous. She's got those keeled scales for climbing trees and shit. You're not gonna let him see you bite me?
Are you working on any art there, Scungy? Kat Mackenzie asking if we can see some art. Because I haven't been working on anything. I don't think any of us have, except
I
Scungy's the only
haven't yet.
one
I've
who's
been
got a head.
talking. I think Sarah's been working. I think she's the only one working right now.
Is BJ still in here?
I don't know.
So we were talking about the
Oh, it's morning.
rattlesnake. We were talking about the rattlesnake a while ago, and I told her that maybe the snake they're hearing vibrating. I'll show that again. Cool. Awesome. Nice.
Very nice. Are you making a book? Nice. Very cool.
Anywho, I was telling BJ that maybe what the kids were hearing was a snake just vibrating its tail on stuff. And that's what this girl just did. It made me take my hand back out. Oh, that's cool. Nice.
Very nice. That's a shirt, huh?
Yeah. Oh. Did BJ respond? I was going to let her hear this snake vibrate. She said she knew they could do that. She'd forgotten. Worm, what kept you?
Worm. Hi, Worm.
Get her little foot. What do you need?
What's she pointing at?
I don't know. She doesn't either. She's wanting to touch my face is what she's wanting, and I've put her on restriction for that. I bite her foot when she starts putting her foot in my mouth. Yeah.
I agree, Huawei, 1000%.
Me too. It sucks. BJ's still here. Oh, you want to blow me up, Pam, and I'll see if y'all can hear her vibrate.
Yeah, just a second here.
She's coming over this way, so let's see. Let me get this. How about that? She's not doing it at the camera. You're so pretty. Look at you. When I tried to touch her. Yeah, she's grown. She's had a few dozen mice since she's been here. I'm surprised there's not a shed in here. Gonna let me pick you up? Here we go. There she goes. Here she is. She's settled down. Look at that. This big old place over here. She was in a great big enclosure because she is quite mobile, so I'm glad. Come on. They never want to go in. Go in. Girl, you better get down in there. There. Got her head below the rim. And she's off. Thanks, ma'am.
She's quite a bit bigger than I remembered her being.
Yeah. She wasn't small when I got her anyway, but she has grown. I need to start handling her more. That took 2 attempts before she would let me pick her up. I'll use her to get my nerve up to handle the false cobra, maybe.
Our brown snakes, their scientific family name or family name, genus, is Pseudonaja, which means false cobra.
Ah, okay.
Very cool.
They do the hooding up thing like cobras do as well. And we've got a few other species of snakes that do it vertically instead of laterally. Like they'll hood up and go side on so they look bigger.
Sorry for all that noise. trying to get these damn hooks on and can't.
Yeah, and like I think it was GRB saying earlier about the tiger snakes. They can hood up a little bit as well. I nearly have to put socks on. My feet are freezing all of a sudden. The wind has nipples on it. Vroom, vroom. Hopefully the background noise eliminator is getting rid of that from the background. Those dang mechanics down the road making rowdy noises. We went very quiet, didn't we? That's some very, very dead air.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Oh, there's that scorpion.
Oh, nice. What size is he, Bob? Oh, Bob's muted.
He's about 4.5, 5 inches maybe. With his tail straightened out, he's probably over 6 inches. His
Yeah.
finger.
I could definitely go without scorpions. One of my
pretty
kids
cool.
wanted to get one once, and I told him no scorpions and no spiders in my house. So no tarantulas and no scorpions.
He's very easy to take
If
care
got
of.
out, I would never be able to sleep again, ever. I would be constantly thinking there was a scorpion in my bed.
Well, I'm not sure if Bob did ever answer how Pugsley's doing. Did you?
I did, but I said, yeah, he's doing great. He's been real secretive lately. I'm not sure what that's about. I was talking to Susie about him the other night. Or the other day. Ow, that hurt, damn it. Stop. Worm. I'm going to bite your ass. Okay.
That's what Star does to me, too. She'll stick her pop and just start kind of hitting up my face.
Her legs are so long. It's like a spider coming for you. Bless her.
I was laughing at Star the other night because she always has to get, she sleeps up against me or on top of me, but underneath the blankets. She always wants to be underneath the blankets. So she had gotten out, was on top of the blankets and trying to paw her way, trying to find where she could get back under the blankets again. So I raised up the blanket for her. And she's got long legs like that too. And she did this stiff-legged thing where she just like hop, hop, hop sideways and then just kind of collapsed against me. Oh,
It's cute. I'm trying to make Worm sit beside me instead of look at her pouting. Worm. It just gets old, you know. It gets old. I have another tank of 29 tall that doesn't have anything at all in it. And I think I'm going to put that false cobra in it tomorrow because I'm not sure the sand is dried out enough. It's rinsed and all that, but they really stressed how they can't take humidity. I mean, just no humidity.
Hmm.
Of course, the top's open. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Just put it in there, not stress it out. And they like it really hot too, like in the 90s in their hot areas. So going to be fun. It's amazing what you can order online. You know it? Armadillos, caimans. They're real expensive, but Jesus, you can order that stuff. Anybody can order it.
GRB, I think that varies from state to state. Like in Queensland and New South Wales, as far as I know, venomous scorpions are covered similar with your reptile licenses. Like I believe you need the same license to keep venomous scorpions and whatnot. But I'm not sure about Victoria or WA or the others. Also, it comes down to that native wildlife is protected and stuff, so you can't just collect a scorpion from the wild and keep it. I mean, you can, but it's by law. If you want to collect one, you need a very specific license for that. But yeah, I think if you buy captive bred scorpions, you still need some form of licensing for it.
stuff varies from state to state here too, a lot depending. Like in Wyoming, there's not too many restrictions on what you can
Trash
keep.
cat.
Amisa, hello. But it's because in Wyoming it gets so cold in the wintertime that if anything gets loose, it's going to die anyway. So it's not like in Florida where they have all these animals running around that have gotten loose from people and will live and reproduce and all that shit because Wyoming's cold.
G'day, Amisa, if I'm pronouncing that right.
Well, I'm thinking that we might go ahead and call it a night. What do you guys think?
Sure. Why not? Well, I mean, we can't hear Sarah speaking, so it's made everyone sad in the chat.
Sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Can we see
I
what
like
you're
it when
working
I
on,
go
Sarah?
like this.
Can we see what Sarah's working on one more time?
Oh, look out. So like a needle pulling thread.
Yeah, she's making a book.
Yeah, wicked. Look at you go, love.
Wonder what she has that planned for. Oh. Okay. I like shrugs. Yeah, I love that.
I might do an extra stream one night this week, possibly. Maybe I'll do one Friday or something. Or I think Thursday's usually too busy, but I might do one like Friday. and do a small auction.
I'm always surprised at how much detail you can get into the pink. Pink to me doesn't seem like a color that promotes and fosters detail and whatnot, but it seems to work well.
Yeah,
in
but
those
she
shorts.
does pretty good with it though.
Yeah, that shading, really cool.
Oh, it's getting cold in here. I might have to go to bed and get underneath the covers.
And my air conditioning just turned on. Of course, the thermostat's right outside this door, and this room's pretty warm.
Air conditioning? Oh my goodness, no. It's like 48 degrees here right now.
Do we be quiet for a minute and let Scungy come back in and say bye-bye to people?
Yes, I think we should do that.
While our hands are busy. My timing's appalling.
Sarah, did you see? I think you did, or maybe you didn't. I showed it to Blacky. I found another one of those plants that you all were wondering what it was. The little plant, and I can't remember the name now. Do you, Blacky? Did you tell her? I sent a picture of it.
No, I don't remember.
It was the same little plant, and we were both saying that it's that plant that y'all were wondering about. And I found another one, just one of them, and it looks like it's going to make it, but it would have been too smart to save the label. I bet I threw it away. We were saying it didn't look like what it was labeled as, but when you looked it up, that is what it was. I don't know. I can't remember.
Did you show us in the chat or on stream?
I showed both.
Or
I may
both.
have put the picture of what it was in our private thing that you made. Just the four of us. Messenger.
Everything guy, hello.
G'day, everything guy.
Well, Sarah, you want to come on for a second and talk and tell everybody good night?
Pam must have a hot day.
It feels really weird to do things this way. Everyone has to shush so that I can speak, and then I don't know what to say because I'm like on the spot. Now is my time to speak. So, but yeah. So I'm sorry, and I'll try downloading the other browser so that hopefully next time I don't ruin everything.
It doesn't ruin it. We just don't like not talking to you or hearing you.
It's definitely not as much fun.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, I was more productive maybe when I wasn't speaking. So there's that. But yeah, I say good night and goodbye to everyone. I want to mute because I keep covering his mouth.
Good night, people, and thank you for coming in, and watch your feed because I think I'll be doing another stream here, an extra stream, work it in the next few days. This week sometime anyway. So watch for that, and we will see you later. Good night, guys. Good night.
Thanks, everyone. See y'all. It's
And
no
thanks
fun
for
when
the
you
mods,
can't-
and thank you, Bob and Blacky, and thanks, Sarah, and thank you for the artwork, Sarah. It was pretty cool. Okay, good
Thanks,
night,
Fabian.
guys. Blacky didn't say crikey.
I
I
know.
don't think I did either. Crikey. That's a
There
first.
you go.